came back saying that they had canceled the order because I was under 18. Because I know a business can be stressful and put you in debt. Hello you guys, it's Katie and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be sharing struggles of starting a business at a young age. If you guys would like to see craft, crochet, DIY, and even some helpful business tip videos sprinkled in, then make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the post notification bell, that way you'll know every time I upload a new video. So if you guys don't know, I started my Etsy shop a few months ago at the age of 17, and I have come to find out that there are a lot of struggles that come with that, especially when you're not 18 yet. So today I'm here to sit down with you guys and tell you some of those struggles that I've gone through. That way you can learn from my mistakes, and I will also tell you how I overcame those struggles. That way you guys know how to solve your problems when they arise. So the first number one problem that I had when I started my first Etsy shop, which isn't the Etsy shop that I have now. I had actually, I think, 3 different Etsy shops before this one. And this is the first one that I've actually even made a sale on ever. So anyway, but I think it was my second Etsy shop ever. I made my first sale and I was so excited to ship it out. And I got the Etsy notification that said, this buyer has bought your product, time to ship, like whatever it says when they buy something. And I think I was like 15, maybe just barely 16 at the time, and I was so ecstatic. Like, I never had a job before or anything, so I'm like, my first time making real money that isn't like from my parents or working for my parents or doing chores or something, and I was just so happy. Then it came back saying that they had canceled the order because I was under 18, which was heartbreaking. And I'm not sure, I can't remember if I put my birthday in and then put like the year above or something to where I would actually be like 18 making the shop, or if they, because I swear I don't remember them ever asking for an age. But recently I was actually looking to make a different Etsy shop, which I didn't do, but anyway, when I was doing it, they asked for your birthday. But before, when I made this Etsy shop, I don't ever remember them doing that. So if they didn't ask that, then I'm assuming the only way they figured that out was either from my bank information or the digits of my social security number, which you have to put in too. Either way, they figured out that I wasn't 18 and they canceled the whole entire order. I was devastated. And you know, it's like you have to go in there and either change all your information or you just start a brand new shop. So I just started a brand new shop because for some reason they're giving me a hard time with changing my information over to be a different person's, because they're like, oh, you're not 18, whatever. So all the shops that I made from then on have always had my mom's information until obviously I turn 18, which will be in December. And then it will be switched over to my information. But just know that if you're going to start an Etsy shop or any type of shop, make sure you look into the rules of the platform that you're using, even if it's like eBay. If you're going to start a Shopify, like whatever you're going to start, make sure you look into the rules of what age you're supposed to be, and if you have to be 18 or you have to be 16 or whatever and you're not that age yet, make sure you use your parents' information. And don't use your parents' information without asking them. Make sure you ask them, because especially for Etsy, I know it will charge money every time you list something, and you have to pay a couple dollars every month depending on like how much you sell. So just make sure you ask your parents, because you don't want them to see money coming out of their account and they're like, what the heck's going on? But just be aware that if you are going to start something like this, that you cannot put your own information in there. Lesson learned on that one. So another struggle, which I know a lot of people, doesn't matter your age, even if you're like 90 and you're starting a business, you're gonna have trouble getting your name out there unless you have a previous audience. Like, for example, I watch the Try Guys all the time, and as I'm filming this video, Zach just released his tea for his tea company, which I don't know when this video is going out, so it might be like months ago, but anyway. But he was able to sell a lot of tea because he has an existing audience from the Try Guys. But if he didn't have that audience at all, he would have made all that tea and not made almost any sales, maybe sold stuff to friends and family, and then would have had to go chase down an audience, which it is very difficult to do. And I feel like as a younger person especially, it's difficult to do, because personally for me, I crochet and I sell my crochet handmade stuff. People look at me like I'm crazy saying that I have an Etsy shop when I'm 17 and that I crochet when I'm 17. Because for some reason, it's a stereotype, I know that, but for some reason everybody thinks that it's only grandmas or only older women that crochet, or like only moms that crochet stuff for their babies. And I'm like, that's really not the truth. I love crocheting and I get so much joy out of it. So I know when you don't have an audience at any age, it is super hard to get your name out there, but especially when you're young, because people will look at you like you're crazy for doing this at such a young age. Another struggle, which if you're not over 16 or if your state's different with how old you have to be when you can drive. I know in Florida I have my driver's license, I got it the day after I turned 16, but if you're not of age to have your driver's license, or if you just can't drive for other reasons, that can be a really hard limiting thing, because especially for me, my business is through Etsy, so if I make a sale, I have to go to the post office and drop off the package. If you don't have the ability to drive, then that can be super difficult to start a business because of that reason as well. Another struggle is a lot of things are oversaturated nowadays. By this, I mean there are a lot of people on Etsy, a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of people on Instagram that are trying to do the same exact thing that I'm doing and are trying to sell the same exact items that I'm doing. And the same for any type of niche or any item you're selling, anything like that. Like if you're trying to go into photography, I'm sure there is hundreds of people in your area, well, unless you live in a really small town, but I'm sure there's quite a few people in your area that are photographers and already have their name out there, so people are going to go to those people over you because you're not as experienced and you don't have as many clients that would be able to recommend you to other people. And it's the same way in anything. Everybody wants to be able to be their own boss, which I completely understand. It is very convenient for me to be able to do all my work, or almost all my work, through the computer. And you know, everybody wants convenience, but that's just another struggle that I have found. You have to work really hard to come up with new ideas that either if people have done it, it's not very popular, or if they haven't done it, then it's a brand new idea, but there's almost no such thing as brand new ideas in general anymore. Almost any video idea I look up, there's already a person that's done it. And I'm like, I thought this was genius. I thought I'm gonna get so many views, nobody's ever done this, and so many people are gonna search this on YouTube, and that's just not the reality. So this is something that's really hard to overcome. So the main way that I have figured out to help you out with this is, first off, I use TubeBuddy, and it really just helps me figure out what videos to make. I can link a video for you guys on TubeBuddy as well, but if you guys are doing YouTube, I totally recommend that. But if you're doing something like Etsy, like I also do, there's sites like Erank that will help you figure out if the keywords you're using are good under your listings, or what title you should list your item as, and if people are searching for this item and the traffic on it and all that kind of stuff. It's like the same as TubeBuddy for Etsy, and that helps you stand out in a super saturated environment, which no matter what you're trying to be successful at, Instagram, YouTube, Etsy, a business that isn't even online, it is super saturated. Another struggle that I have found is getting people to remember your name and your business over others. Which this kind of ties into the last thing that I said, but one of the main ways I have found that this has helped is I post on every platform as much as possible. For example, on Instagram, I post almost every single day, if not every single day, at least like every other day. For a while I was doing every single day, but then college started back up again and that kind of went out the window. But either way, try to post your content as often as possible. On YouTube, I post once a week. I would love to post more, but again, college, and that's more of a priority. But it is really hard to keep people remembering you. Unless they're a loyal fan and they look at your content all the time, it's not going to show up in their recommended page on YouTube or in their feed on Instagram. And that might be a hard pill to swallow for some people, but you have to be constantly putting content out for people to actually remember you and remember your name and remember your face and remember what that business is that you're doing. Because I know for me, if I didn't post, I just finished making this crochet elephant, here's the pattern for it, or I just finished making this crochet unicorn, it's available on my Etsy shop. If I just completely went dark on Instagram, like kept posting on Etsy and kept posting on YouTube, I would probably have less than half of the amount of views and the amount of traffic I get towards my Etsy and towards my YouTube, because I have more followers on Instagram than I do anywhere else, so I have to post on there and say, hey guys, come look at this video. Hey guys, come look at this Etsy product. And hope that somebody likes it and somebody buys it, or hope that they like it and they watch it, you know? So it's really, really hard to keep your name and keep your products in somebody's mind. Okay, the final struggle that I'm going to be talking about today is money. One of the biggest things that I've heard in business stuff, because I've read a lot of business books and a lot of articles and listened to a lot of podcasts. For only being 17, I'd like to say I have a lot of knowledge up here about businesses. And one of the main things that I've heard is you have to spend money to make money. And for me, this was one of the hardest things to swallow, because I'm like if you're gonna work at a grocery store, you go to your shift every day and you make the money. The only money you have to spend to make that money is gas money to get to your job. Versus an Etsy shop, for me, I have to spend money on every time I list an item. Every month when Etsy comes back with the bill for the month, I have to spend money on the materials to make the item. And like even for YouTube, you have to spend at least a little bit of money on something to light your room up with and something to record with and you know, all of this stuff. So you have to spend a little bit of money to make money when you're starting a business. It's almost impossible to have a business that you didn't have to put any money into. And I wanted to be, I'm not going to spend any money, and you know, and that's just not the reality at all. So I hate to break it to you guys, but you really do have to spend some money to make money, and that is the hardest thing as being a young person, because I know, trust me, when you're in college, you're already in debt. Even, like, I'm in high school, technically. If you guys have seen some of my other videos, you'll know, but I'm not going to go into the whole thing. But I'm in high school / college. You do not have money to spend unless you have another job, like a job at a grocery store or at a fast food restaurant or something, but still, that's only paying you minimum wage. That's enough to maybe eat and get gas every week, you know? So it is really difficult to save up, and like, I know when you're young you want to go out with your friends and you want to go to the movies and you want to do all this stuff, but the main thing that I found is save all of the money that you've made that you would normally spend that stuff on, and instead invest it in your business or, you know, whatever it is that you're wanting to do, and eventually it works out. Eventually you save enough money to not be in debt, and hopefully if you're passionate enough and you have the right mindset and you're not just in it for the money, you're in it because you love it, you will hopefully be able to make it at whatever you're trying to make it at. So, I hope this video was helpful for you guys, or at least a little bit inspirational, even if you go through some struggles. Hopefully this video will help you overcome them, or me talking about my struggles as a young person starting a business. Hopefully that will help some of you guys to at least weigh your options and figure out, do I want to start a business, or do I want to just go work a minimum wage job? Which one is more worth it? Because I know a business can be stressful and put you in debt. So sometimes the minimum job might have more pros than all of the cons at starting your own business, but in the long run, I think the pros outweigh the cons, but of course you have to decide that for yourself. Anyway, I hope this was helpful for you guys. If it was, please leave a thumbs up on this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the post notification bell. That way you know every time I upload a new video, because I know you don't want to miss out on me talking about starting a business at a young age, or crochet, or DIY, or anything like that. If you guys would like to watch some more videos, you can use the links in the description box down below for that, or there's some linked at the end of the video as well. My Etsy product of the week will be linked in the description box below, so make sure you guys check that out. If you guys want to follow me on social media to see project updates, video updates, and more, make sure you follow me on social media at Katie Bean Creative, and linked in the description box down below. And with all of that, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!